Well, well. We meet again. I'm not even gonna play myself and reflect on the number of weeks it's been. I'm just gonna jump right in and say, hey guys, welcome back to episode 20 of More Context the Podcast. I was on spring break. Cause why not use that as a little excuse? I was on spring break, shit. No, but I mean, we here, and I finally think I decided, first of all, what the schedule is gonna look like moving forward, at least up until birth. And then once I give birth, we'll kind of evaluate from there. But yeah, so I'm also sitting on my yoga ball because it's just very comfortable at this point. Well, I've had it for a while. Honestly, if you're pregnant or if you plan on getting pregnant, two things that I've gotten for my pregnancy that I swear by for comfort is absolutely a body pillow for sleep. The body pillow was literally the first thing that I bought when I found out. Matter of fact, I wasn't even that far along when I got the body pillow. I just jumped right into it, and I swear by it, especially now that I'm bigger. And then the yoga ball, I got this probably in like January or so, and this has also been like a godsend. So right now I'm sitting on my yoga ball. My back is a little sore, but I mean, regular pregnancy woes. As of today, what's today? April 7th, I think. Yes. As of today, April 7th, I am 7 weeks. I'm 7 weeks. Wow. I'm 7 months. I'm 32 weeks, 31 weeks. I'm 31 weeks and 3 days, 2 days. I don't fucking know. I'm having a baby. Shit. That's how far along I am. I'm 31 weeks and 2 days, which means I am 7 months at the moment. I will be 32 weeks this upcoming Monday, which I believe is like the 12th, I think. And at that point, I will be 8 months. That shit just sounds crazy to even think about. Like, I'm almost 8 months pregnant. That's crazy. I still feel really, really good considering, like I said, regular pregnancy woes, but even like my regular pregnancy woes, I feel like I just don't have it as bad as I could, and I feel really fortunate that like my little guy has been holding me down and not, kicking my ass, because this pregnancy, especially for my first go round, has just been, I don't want to say enjoyable, because like I enjoyed my regular body before baking a baby. But it's been one that I definitely cannot complain about whatsoever. I think the worst part the worst of my pregnancy woes that I've experienced thus far is my sight. I started wearing glasses probably like 6 years ago. Just based on like my job, having to be on a computer and stuff like that. And this pregnancy has really taken a toll on my eyesight. Like, I went to the eye doctor, but I know it's temporary. And by temporary, it does not mean that once I have the baby, my eyesight will be back to what it was. I realized that it could take almost a year, depending on how long I decide to like breastfeed for or whatever. But I did go to the eye doctor just, because it was time for my annual anyway. And honestly, my eyesight has not even changed. It just feels worse. Like, so when I put my glasses on or my contacts in, I can see. I'm fine. It's just when I don't have them in, I feel like I can't see shit. And so I just feel like I have to wear my contacts or my glasses all the time. That's really annoying, because I don't always want to wear glasses or put my contacts in. Like before pregnancy, I could watch TV and be fine. Now it's like I have to put my glasses on just to watch TV. So that's, you know, that is what it is. And then I definitely have I've been introduced to hemorrhoids. I would say this is TMI, but honestly, anything dealing with pregnancy, like, it's TMI at this point. Fuck it. So I definitely have, you know, been introduced to hemorrhoids when going to the bathroom, you know, going to number 2 or whatever. First of all, trying to use the bathroom on like some number 2 type time is an Olympic sport as a pregnant woman, for me at least. And I like to think that, like, I drink a lot of water, I have enough fiber in my diet, but I'm gonna try to like increase my water intake and then see if that helps. I've started doing that probably like the last week or so. I've been trying to drink way more water than I already have been, because I'm really not trying to take another pill. Like, I already take 2 black seed oils, an omega-3, and a prenatal vitamin every day. And the last thing I want to do is take a probiotic for number 5. So you know, but yes, hello hemorrhoids. I think it's safe to say I'm probably gonna have them, you know, when it's time to give birth, but we'll just cross that road when we get there. Also, I've developed acid reflux. I don't have heartburn too bad. I get heartburn every now and then, but it's not nothing crazy. Acid reflux, on the other hand, is very annoying. You know, you get that when you eat like anything red, anything tomato based, like a red sauce or anything like that, spicy food, eating too fast, that kind of stuff. So, and you know, me and my son, we love spicy food. So I be trying not to like do anything to provoke acid reflux, but when I have it, I've had it to where it's like made me nauseous before, and that was more so yesterday actually. I had drank some green tea in the morning, and I had drank it. I feel like I had drank it like a little too fast, and I did not. Normally when I drink my tea, I'm drinking it with my breakfast, but I just feel like I had drank it too fast and I did not eat. So I was drinking my tea on an empty stomach, and I kind of drank it too fast, and it just made me feel sick, honestly. And that kind of sat me down for a little while yesterday. So that wasn't fun. And then, you know, when you get acid reflux, you can't lay down. You have to like stay elevated a little bit. And it just, but normally it's like just a lot of burping. Sometimes it's like burping with like acid in your throat. Yeah, that is not fun, although still manageable. I'm not complaining, whatever. And then pregnancy brain. Pregnancy brain, real life, be like kicking my ass. And I'd like to think of myself as someone who has a good amount of like common sense. I'm pretty mentally stable, emotionally stable. You know, I have like a good amount of street smarts in addition to a good amount of book smarts. But pregnancy brain, that ain't it. Like, I've done like a lot of like dumb shit so far, to the point where I'm like, should I start a series called Pregnancy Brain Attacks Again? Because, and yes, it is a reminder to just like slow down. But sometimes even moving slow, because I mean, how much slower can I get? I'm pregnant. So even moving slow, it's like I still end up doing like just dumb shit. So like, for example, and I've told these stories on my Instagram, but I mean, this is a different platform, so what's good? So for example, I have this natural facial toner and a natural deodorant from the same company. They're in 2 different bottles. The facial toner is in like a clear, bigger bottle, and the deodorant is also a spray, just like the facial toner, but it's in like a smaller, like brown bottle, right? And so I keep them in my medicine cabinet, and I I literally have a routine of like how I do my morning hygiene / skincare routine. And I literally said to myself one day, this is probably like a few days before this actually happened. But I was like, one day I'm gonna mix the two up, right? So it just so happened that on this day, it was a Sunday, I decided to do like a self-care Sunday situation where I took a little Epsom salt bath. I had Sudoku pulled up on my phone. I was listening to a podcast. I put a face mask on, a cleansing face mask on, like a green tea, like matcha face mask on. So my pores were like nice and open, right? So I get out the bath and wipe my my face mask on and go to tone my face. I sprayed the whole deodorant on my face, and I was like, this don't smell like the toner that I'm used to. And I was like, oh shit. So I just like washed my face with like a moisturizing with my moisturizing facial cleanser, and then like overly moisturized. Fortunately, because the products that I use are non-toxic, nothing happened to my skin, as you can see if you're watching right now. Nothing happened to my skin. It just my face was just like really dry for the next couple of days, and I just kind of like overly moisturized for the next couple of days or whatever. But I was just like, I told myself I was gonna do that, and I did. I deodorized my face instead of toned it. And then I want to say within that same week, this is probably like a few days later, I'm in the kitchen making eggs, and I have basil and I have cinnamon, both from Trader Joe's. They are in identical bottles. However, the cinnamon is in like a green bottle, has like a green label and a green top, and the basil has like a black label and a black top. I feel like for some reason that should be the other way around. Like the basil should have a green label and the cinnamon should have a black label, but whatever. I don't work for Trader Joe's. Anyway, I go in the cabinet to get the basil for my eggs, and the basil flakes, you gotta really like shake them hard for them to like, for you to get a good amount of basil. So I just reached up, grabbed what I thought was basil, and shook it like a good 3 or 4 times in my eggs. And it was cinnamon. And I was like, fuck. Corey was like, what's wrong? What happened? I was like, I just put cinnamon in my eggs. And he was like, he laughed like a little bit, and he was like, just make them, like I'll eat them or whatever. Cause I typically season my eggs while they're already on the stove. So it wasn't like they was like in a bowl and I was about to stir them up or anything. They was already cooking in the pan. So he, like a trooper, ate them. And at first he was like, oh no, they're not that bad. Like they cool, whatever. And then when he finished, he was like, no, them Jones had a little aftertaste or whatever. So those are 2 things that, that stood out to me. The 2 biggest things that stood out to me. Of course, I do something that's related to pregnancy brain all the time. May it be having Corey go upstairs to like grab something for me, or like go to the car to grab something for me. And whole time I've had it in like a bag that was like right beside me or something like that. So it's been little things, but like the bigger things, I'd be like, oh shit, like, okay, okay, this is what we doing. Cool. But other than that, like, little back aches. Like I said, my back kind of hurt right now, but actually, I think I'm good. See, that the yoga ball, man, it'll get you together. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to, my little man's arrival or whatever. We got about 2 months left. So, I'm not one for maternity photos. So please don't expect those from me. You will not see Corey or I in all denim with no socks on. That still, it cracks me up every time. However, because I am in my last 10 weeks of pregnancy or whatever, I have been doing, like, I don't know if you noticed, but on Instagram, I have been doing a bit of a countdown, a 10-week countdown. So typically I don't post on Instagram that often, not at least pictures to my feed or whatever. And so the last 2 weeks I have actually been posting a picture each week. So my goal is to do a picture a week up until starting from 10 weeks, so 2 weeks ago. Starting from a 10-week countdown, so 2 weeks ago, I am dedicating myself to posting a picture a week as kind of like a final embracement of my belly countdown or whatever. So if you wanna count that as like a maternity shoot, go for it. But so basically, if like I've gone out somewhere, which fortunately I've been out, I've gotten dressed the past 2 weeks, let's say that. So the week before, I was in my homegirl Shakira and we went to DC and we hung out, and then this past weekend I was in Charlotte and I went to a wedding, and I didn't even post a picture from the wedding. I'm gonna get to that in 1 second about the dress that I was in, because I had this vision in my mind of what I wanted to look like and how like, just what I was gonna look like in this picture that in my 9th week countdown picture, had this vision of like what I was gonna look like, and did not look like that. I looked nice, but I didn't take a picture I did not post a picture, should I say, in my wedding attire. But the day after the wedding, Corey and I also don't have any pictures together as parents to be, with the belly or whatever, and any pictures that we have together, I'm in oversized clothes. So I knew that for sure I wanted to get a picture of him and I together. But so the next day we did actually get pictures together that was more in our element, because like being dressed up in like wedding clothes and stuff, that don't really define Corey and I as a couple. Like street clothes define Corey and I as a couple a little bit more better. So I'm glad we were able to take some pictures together, but I also got some pictures by myself, and I posted that for like my 9th week. So if I'm dressed, the only time I'm getting dressed honestly is if I'm going somewhere. So if I'm dressed and or going somewhere, I'm gonna try my best to get a picture when I'm dressed during that week of like whatever week I'm in as I count down. And if I'm not dressed or I'm not going anywhere, then I'll just find a way to creatively take a picture within the house. And when I say that, I mean like I'm gonna really think of like creative ways to really take good pictures. So not just like, oh hey, me sitting on the couch, here's my belly. Like I'm really gonna tap into my creativity because like, so I guess I'm in that nesting phase where it's like, typically the nesting phase is like preparing your house for the new baby or whatever, but we won't be here too much longer, which I'm going to touch on that in a minute as well. We won't be here too much longer, so there's not much for me to nest about in here. So my nesting looks more like me tapping more into my creative side, as well as purging. So that's how I'm preparing for the baby, as well as keeping my creative juices flowing. So I've purged, I'd like to think I purged a lot so far. And I do have a lot more to go. But in addition to purging, like I said, I'm just tapping into my creative side, and I'm like just trying to I don't like rub those juices out, like, because I'm not, my mind is always constantly going. And as much as I would love to be designing the nursery right now, which I am still doing, I'm not physically doing it. Like I'm I'm preparing as much as I can. Like I'm setting aside links and, you know, stuff like that, but I'm not physically hands-on doing anything. And honestly, I feel like if I was physically doing something or wanted to physically do something nesting wise, I wouldn't even feel like it. So I'm not even mad at that. But let me tell you about this this dress situation, right? So I said it before, that like, you know, I feel really confident being pregnant. Like my pregnant self feels good. Like I'm not self-conscious or body conscious or anything, because I do have to admit that I am fortunate enough to carry pregnancy well, where like it's not really affecting my physical appearance. Like he's been holding me down. Now, you know, I don't play about my skincare, but he's definitely been enhancing the skincare. So that is something to be very grateful for. My hair has been in, you know, a protective style, so I can't say whether or not my hair has been like flourishing, but I know my nails are, and I'm sure my hair has been. And I plan on taking these braids out in, I don't know, I'm not rushing, but I do need to take them out. I plan on taking them out soon, but yeah, so I'm okay, you know, in my body or whatever. And but it's still hard sometimes to shop for your body, which is why I don't. But you know, I had to wear that dress a couple months ago or whatever, and that looked nice. But that was my first time buying a dress for this body, so I was kind of a little hung up, like, well, what do I want to look like? What will even look good on my body? So anyway, I'm doing this research, because I know I got this wedding coming up. So I'm doing this research, trying to figure out what I want to wear, what I want to look like. And as much as I was like leaning towards getting a dress in a similar silhouette as the dress that I had when I was in Miami, because I was like, that was really cute and it looked really good on me, but I don't want to like look the exact same. So I was trying to find something similar to that, but like not, if that makes sense. Anyway, finally found what I thought was the perfect dress, and it was supposed to arrive Wednesday. Like I think it was like Wednesday the 31st, but I had ordered it 2 weeks ago. I ordered it from Pretty Little Thing, first of all. And normally when I order from if I order from Pretty Little Thing, because I've been trying to stay away from fast fashion. So I really be trying not to do like the Pretty Little Thing and a Misguided and like H&M and Zara. Like I try not to do it, but for one, I haven't even been shopping like that. So what I guess you could say is working. But throughout the pandemic, I wasn't really like trying to overly buy fast fashion, because I'm like, I'm coming from a mindset of like feeling like I have to have a closet full of clothes and a closet full of shoes. And now that's like not my mindset. Like I don't feel like I have to have a closet full of stuff. So as much as I've been trying to get rid of stuff, I don't want to counteract that with like bringing more shit in, if that makes sense. Anyway, I ordered from Pretty Little Thing, and typically when I order from there, I will do the expedited shipping. But that expedited shipping can be a little high. It's like $16 or something like that, I think. And the regular shipping is like $4.99. So when I ordered the dress, I basically had time to wait. So the dress was supposed to come Wednesday, March 31st, and we were leaving the next day. So we drove down to Charlotte the next day, Thursday, April 1st. So the dress never came. And again, it's April 7th, and the dress still hasn't come. Like, I've gone to Charlotte and come back. I went to the wedding, done a little two-step, and come back. Like, and that dress still isn't here. I don't know where that dress is. Last time I tracked it, it said something about Jamaica, and I'm assuming it means Jamaica, New York, because it just was coming through customs or something like that. But I don't know where that dress at. Anyway, I go Wednesday when I realized the dress wasn't coming. I go on ASOS because I have, I have the 2-hour express shipping from ASOS. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to find something on ASOS and get them shipped to the hotel. Let me just put something in the cart real quick and see when the estimated arrival would get to Charlotte. So fortunately, I ordered from ASOS and the expected delivery was Friday. Well, I looked on ASOS and the expected delivery will be Friday. So I spent like a good couple hours, maybe like an hour and a half or whatever, looking for dresses on ASOS that would make me feel, because right at this point it's crunch time and we all know I hate shopping. So like I can shop online, but I hate going to the store and trying to find something. Like that's tiring when you can just be online and scroll, whatever. So I found 2 dresses on ASOS that I felt like, okay, this might could work. Like this could be cool, whatever. So I had them sent to the hotel. So Friday at the hotel, I get my packages. I try on these dresses. Big dub, big fat dub, a L, a double L. These dresses look fucking terrible, okay? And I don't just mean like on me. The dresses themselves were trash. Like I was like, ASOS, like you be holding me down in the clutch when I need you to, and like right now, no. So that was a dub. When I ordered the dresses, I also went on Zara and I screenshot quite a few options for just in case those dresses didn't work. So I was like, if those dresses don't work, I'm gonna just go to Zara and I'm gonna look for these dresses, try them on while I'm in the store, and then fill out the vibes and go from there. Yeah. Well, Charlotte got a few nice malls, none of which include Zara. So we went to South Point. Is South Point or South Park? South Point, I think, right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The bougie kind of neighborhood. South Point. South Point? Let's go with South Point. Could be South Park. It's in the South. Anyway, we go in there and I'm looking on like the little directory for Zara. I'm going all the way down to the Z. It ain't shit in that mall that start with a Z. And it damn sure ain't no Zara. So I had to go to H&M. I ain't been in H&M in like a month of Sundays. I went in H&M a few weeks ago just to get a couple oversized shirts because I feel like I started even growing out of my graphic tees. So to the point where they were like uncomfortable. So I went in H&M like a few weeks ago just to get literally some $5 like oversized shirts, just to wear around the house or whatever. So before that, I can't even recall the last time I was in H&M. So anyway, I go in H&M. I'm looking. It ain't shit in H&M. Nothing that I want to wear. So then I just so happened to be on a sale rack. Cause looking through the sale rack, when you're already over it and it's crunch time, you just want to find something that's like an abundance of something cool. I'm just going to choose this. You don't want to have to nitpick through a sale rack. It's that I might as well go through a thrift store. But so I'm on the sale rack and I see this dress and I'm like, okay, dress. This might could work. The thing is, the dress was in a medium and it was already kind of loose and flowy. So I was like, I really could use this dress in a small, but I'm pregnant, so, a medium might suffice. So the dress was $85 on some sale shit. So I'm like, whatever, I need a dress at this point. Fitting rooms are closed, so I can't even see how I'm gonna look in the dress. I just have to trust my instinct. So I check out and he's like, the total is like 87 or whatever. And I asked him, I'm like, that's the sale price, right? He was like, yeah, this is with the sale price. And I noticed that the tag said like spring, summer 2021. So I figured that was the sale price because this probably was like on some runway shit or whatever. So I was like, well, I wonder how much. I was like, well, how much was it originally or whatever? Because the tag didn't say. It was actually written on there, $85. And he was like, oh, I don't know. This is an online return. So I was like, oh, okay. That means, you know, it really is on some like runway shit, on some H&M type time, whatever. Cool. So, so yeah, I get to the room. I try on a dress and it's cute. I mean, it's cool, whatever, but the shit is a little big. And I felt like it could have gave what I wanted it to give if it was a small or even an extra small shit. But that medium just wasn't working for the kid. And I was like, the way the dress was made rather, it's like, it has like these little ruffles on the out, like it had like all these, so it's like long, and it was like a burnt orange kind of. And it had like these ruffles, and it was like long sleeve, and the hem was like, it had like different lengths on the hem. But it just kind of just like fell on me, and it was like oversized or whatever. And so I kept like snatching the back, like this would be it if it was just tighter. And Miss Innovation, I was like, I'm about to walk to CVS real quick and get a little sewing kit. I feel like I could make this shit work. So in crunch time, this probably was like, because this was Saturday when we went to the mall, and the wedding was Saturday. And the wedding was at like 5. The wedding was to start at 5. We got back from the mall literally at 2 o'clock on the dot. So, and we were staying like 30 minutes away from the wedding venue. So that mean I had to rush, or whatever rushing looks like when you're pregnant, right? So I was like, I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm not just gonna wear this oversized dress because I feel like I look like I'm about to clean somebody's house or something. So I go, so I walk over to CVS, I get a little sewing kit, and I come back in a room, and I pinched it tight in the back, and I sewed it. Basically, I had to do it from the outside because of the way the dress was made with the ruffles and stuff. It actually looked better with me doing it on the outside. So I cinched it at the waist in the back, or in my back, whatever. And then that, chef's kiss, it did what I needed it to do. Nobody even knew that was what what I did. It reminds me of that video when it'd be like, how would they know? How would they know? Nobody's gonna know. How would they know? It reminds me of that video, actually. I think it was like a TikTok video or whatever. TikTok is just a whole nother thing. Anyway, so yeah, out of all the things that I had to go through to look like something at the wedding, I finally pulled it together literally at the last minute, because we didn't even get there until like 5:15. Fortunately, the wedding didn't start till 5:30, 5:45. So I wasn't even mad. I was like, perfect time, and I was able to, you know, pull up, talk to my homies beside me. The wedding was really nice though. It was really nice. Congratulations to Mike and Tia. I know Mike listens to my podcast, so congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Pigram or whatever. I don't know when their honeymoon is, but enjoy your honeymoon whenever that is. And shout out to y'all. Like, the wedding was very nice. It was mad favors. Like, it was like mad candy and like personalized coasters, and it was like a photo booth, and it was decorated very pretty. Like, I'm not one to criticize or judge anybody's wedding, because I know weddings are expensive as hell, which is why I ain't having one. But for the people who do have them, I make sure that like I'm there for them and not there to criticize their wedding, because like I said, weddings are very expensive. And if I don't have anything nice to say about your wedding, I'ma just leave it at that. Like, I've literally only been, I think, to one wedding where I was just like, y'all should have saved y'all money and just did this in the backyard. and that was one wedding that like I was like, yeah, I would have just held off. For me, I don't know. I have this thing where it's like, if I can't do it exactly how I want to do it, I'm just not doing it. And I'm personally, I'm not going in a debt for no nuptial. Me and Corey will be right at the courthouse. I do. See you. Okay. But yeah, that wedding was very nice, especially for it to be, for us to be in the Panera Express. A Panera Express, because we just all fucked up at this point. But yeah, it was comfortable. Like during the ceremony, everybody had on masks, and then once we gravitated towards the reception area, like the cocktail hour, when people started drinking and stuff, masks slowly started coming off. And then once we went to the reception, nobody had a mask on. Well, I can't say nobody had a mask on. Absolutely, the photographers and videographers, they all had masks on. And then like some people still had masks on. I think some people probably put their mask on when they finished eating. But Mike also requested that people got COVID tests or whatever. I did not know that was a request. But they were also, checking temperatures when you got there, and I felt very comfortable and very safe. So that was just like it was a beautiful wedding, to be honest. Like they definitely pulled it together, especially for us to be under these circumstances, under these worldly circumstances. Like I feel like it would have been nice either way, like whether we were in the midst of this stuff or not. Like it was genuinely a nice wedding or whatever. So I'm glad I got to see a lot of my friends that I got to see, because they haven't seen me since I've been pregnant or whatever. So I'm glad I got to see the people that I got to see, a lot of like my really close friends. So it was a good time. It was a really nice time. I'm glad I went. But yeah, moving on to updates. So if you don't know, Corey and I currently live in a condo that we rent from my friend / yoga teacher, Rachel, right? We've been living here for a little over 2 years now. It'll be 3 years actually in November. And so back in the late summertime, prior to me even conceiving or whatever, we started looking for some property to buy, just because it's a buyer's market. Like percentage rates were down and stuff like that. So we started like looking into homes to buy or whatever. And I feel like we saw a whole bunch of townhouses, like just a whole bunch, and we didn't see anything that was to our liking. We literally put in one offer. And that was back in like October, and the house had 4 offers on the table. We were the second offer to be considered. So, the number one offer was more attractive than ours because they did not ask for any seller's help. And so the sellers had went with the number one offer instead of ours. So, and that was honestly, I love that townhouse. It was so cute. It has so much character. Oh my God. But everything happens for a reason, whatever. So we are continuing to look or whatever. And then of course, we find out, I found out I was pregnant in October. That didn't really change things. It just was like, oh, now instead of like this being a designated office, this has to be a nursery, that type of thing. But, so we considered new construction when we were looking originally in late 2020, but we just was like, it's not really in the budget. And even if we make it in the budget, they were saying that they weren't going to be ready until like April and May. And we were like, oh no, we want to be moved in before that, that's a deal breaker, whatever, right? So now we're in 2021. We're continuing this search, and in January, we decided to increase the budget. I'm going to be honest with you. because I feel like this shit ain't easy, and we all have to like figure out the best course of action to take for ourselves. We decided to increase the budget because I have an old 401k, right? And I don't mean old, but from like my previous company. I have a 401k with my current company, and I have a 401k with my previous company. And basically, I've been trying to figure out what to do with my previous 401k. It's going to remain a 401k. I just want to take a loan from it. I cannot take a loan from it because it's inactive, because I'm not an employee at my previous company. So right now, in this very moment, I am in the midst of like trying to figure out the best course of action to take. And honestly, I say that because I'm reaching out to you at this point. If you know somebody who can give me good financial advice, this is literally the only reason why I have not moved forward with it yet, but it's crunch time. Like, I need to do something with this 401k. I am asking you, if you know anybody who can give me good financial advice on what to do about my 401k, please send me their information, because I also have an LLC and I know that I can somehow finesse it or whatever. Like, I'm not trying to take out the 401k and just use it. Like, I just want to put it somewhere else where if I need to access it, if I want to borrow from it or whatever, I can have access to it or whatever. So again, if you know somebody that can help me out, send me their information or whatever. My thing is, like, I would call my bank. I would call like Fidelity, or I would call like, all of any of the financial institutions or whatever that offers like IRAs and Roth accounts and stock options and 401k options. However, I don't want a biased answer. I don't want you to try to sell me your product. I want my questions answered first, and then I can move forward in trying to determine whose product I want to put it in. But for starters, I'm like, I just want to ask my questions real quick. And I always say, like, I wish it was like a 1-800 life number you can dial when you just have like a regular question, like, what the hell does this mean on my health insurance before I choose this plan or this plan, or like, how should I, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyway, so we decided to increase the budget. And with that being said, we were looking at things that were like a little bit more pricey or whatever. But then we was like, well, if we're going to increase the budget, we might as well just move forward with the new construction. So we go visit a new construction community, and the same one that we saw back in October when they were like, it's not going to be ready until like April or May, or like March or April or something like that. And we were too good for that timeline. We go back and we look at the same community, and now, of course, it's not going to be ready until June. And so we're like, you know what? At this point, June sounds good. Whatever. And when we went, they only had 2 of them left on the market. Otherwise, the next batch wouldn't be ready until like September. And so this was like one of the most affordable communities in the area, because I was really gung-ho about staying in the area that we are now. So this was one of the communities that was most affordable. And this community is actually, even though it's new construction, you basically choose between your floor plan. You choose the floor plan you want, and then you choose like literally between like option A or option B. So whether you want like a 4-story or you want a 3-story, and that's it. Like, that's all you choose. So all of your finishes are chosen for you. Basically everything is chosen for you. And to be honest, I like that. While yes, it would have been nice to customize, whatever the finishes that they chose were nice anyway. But when you go in and you pick and choose what finishes you want, that shit go from one price to a completely different price. And so I just felt like, my thing is like, you're not about to give me all these options, and now I'm like, I'm sold on like all these upgrades or whatever, and then my heart is broke when I didn't pick $80,000 worth of extra things. So so I like the fact that we couldn't choose our finishes and upgrades and stuff like that. Like, you literally just choose between a 4th floor or 3rd floor or whatever. So we obviously went with the 3rd floor because it's like, we live on the 3rd floor of our condo. Like, our condo is on the 3rd floor right now. And right now, these steps are really starting to stress me out. I was sleeping on the loft, and I'm at the point where like I can't even sleep on the loft anymore. So Corey ever so graciously moved my couch that I sleep on, because that's literally the only way I can get sleep is in my body pillow on the couch or whatever. So he moved my couch from upstairs to downstairs because I can't keep going up and down these loft steps. So the fact that we live on the 3rd, our condo is already on the 3rd floor, and then I was going up another set of steps. I think it's a good thing that even though the 4th floor, the townhouse with the 4 floors was beautiful, it had like the rooftop deck in addition to like the balcony area or whatever, and it would have had a loft space. Realistically speaking, in addition to the fact that that shit was like an extra few $1,000s, few grand, in tens of grands, realistically speaking, having a master, I don't like calling it a master bedroom because I ain't nobody's slave. Having the owner's suite on the 4th floor, and then you have the second living quarters on the 3rd floor, and then the main living space on the 2nd floor, that just kind of seems like a lot. So I'm definitely glad that we got the 3rd floor. Not like we had much of an option anyway, but I'm glad we got the 3rd floor. But so it's crazy because when we were there in October, they were also like $20,000 cheaper than how much they were in January or whatever. So woes of home ownership already. But I'm really excited about this process. I'm really excited about this journey. So the home is expected to be finished, like the closing date I think was like June 16th or something like that. And we've been in contact with the contractor. Like, he texts us every so often. He's a really nice guy or whatever. And he was saying that they were ahead of schedule. So he invited us over to the site or whatever. And we actually did the pre-drywall walkthrough. So we were able to write like some messages on the walls before like the drywall went up and stuff like that. And he was able to give us like ideas of like certain things that, we wanted to like make the most out of certain spaces, and he was able to give us like ideas on that stuff, and that was very helpful. So, with us talking to him, then he was like, we are still ahead of schedule. He was like, it could be done in May. And honestly, that would be love if it is done in May, but I'm not trying to get my hopes up. So I still have it in my mind that it won't be ready until the middle of June. I've already committed to giving birth in the condo. I just feel like even if it is ready in May, I don't think it'll be ready for me to want to give birth in the new house. Like, I'll just work on more making sure that this space is where I needed to be to prepare myself for the birth. So deep cleaning, decluttering, saging, Palo Santoing, just recreating the vibes for a whole different experience, if that makes sense. So I'm really looking forward to just this summer. I feel like this summer is gonna be lit. Like I said, the baby is supposed to come June 7th, the house June 16th, and that's just two really big transitions happening all at once. So, me mentally and physically and emotionally just trying to prepare for that. I'm honestly in a really good space. Like, I'm really happy and I'm really content with like where my life is right now. I mean, we always have something to complain about, always, but I don't want to complain about like the little things that I have or whatever. The little things, the little nuances that I would complain about. Like, I don't even want to like think about it or consider it, because it's very minuscule when I think about how blessed I am, you know, in like the bigger picture. So I'm just really looking forward to, you know, the future, the very, very near future. I feel like, you know, it's like, I'm really excited about, one of the things that I'm really excited about beyond just motherhood in general is my transition into motherhood, and how I want to continue to show that in a public way, because I'm actually a really private person. But I know that I've received so much knowledge and encouragement and empowerment from like watching other people transition into motherhood. So like a lot of YouTube videos I've watched that I'm like, I've learned a lot of things from like watching other people's experience, that I'm like, I would love to also be that beacon of light for somebody else who was as anxious as I was, or as fearful as I was of certain things, or unsure or overwhelmed or whatever. So I'm really looking forward to creating in my new space, but creating in addition to mothering, if that makes sense. So I'm still gonna wholeheartedly be myself and be the same person. I said this actually earlier, that like throughout my life, I've been through like quite a few things, good and bad, but a lot of life-changing experiences where I've never let my experiences change who I was. I've never let my circumstances determine who I am or what I'm gonna do or not gonna do. And I don't plan on letting motherhood do that to me either. And I feel like as soon as you get pregnant, or even when you're not pregnant, you're just talking about, you know, babies or pregnancy or whatever. So many people say things to deter you from having like positive thoughts about it. So like they be like, oh, once you have a baby, you have to sacrifice everything, or once you have a baby, it ain't gonna be all that traveling, and it ain't gonna be all that, and you gotta give up this, and you can't. And it's like, no, you did that. You had to give that up. I really don't foresee me changing a lot. Yes, I might not be able to be, you know, as spontaneous as I have been, but maybe I can still do that. I don't know. I'm not there yet. But my point is, like, with any other thing in my life, I've accommodated whatever the circumstances were, but I never changed who I was. And I'm excited to see my own journey as I transition into motherhood, and what it will look like for me to remain myself as a mother. And I feel like motherhood will not change me. If anything, I plan on changing motherhood. I was once afraid of being a mother, because I was at a point where, like I said, I was very happy and secure with myself. And I was like, you know, I'm really self-confident and self-aware, and I'm like mentally and emotionally and spiritually stable at this point. And physically, like, I'm finally at a point, you know, being small all my life, like physically, I'm finally at a point where I'm like, okay, bitch, I see you. You know what I mean? It's like, everybody says motherhood changes all that. And so I was really apprehensive about being a mother. That wasn't the only reason why. Well, then it was because it was like, well, I can't come and go as I please and all that. So it was like all of the outside noises was really making me feel like I don't think I really want to be a mother. So then when it happened for me, when I found out I was pregnant, I wasn't elated. I wasn't excited, because I'm like, I have all these things externally telling me why I'm not happy. And then again, I went on that, you know, that Montana trip, and I'm like, yo, I'm hiking for the very first time in my life at 7 weeks pregnant. Like, this is fucking amazing. But then it was a light bulb that went off that was like, oh no, like, you can still do you. You can still be exactly who you are, just in another way or whatever. So now I'm actually very happy that I am or was at a point, or am at a point where I am as self-aware as I am, and I am as confident as I am, and I am as emotionally stable and mentally and spiritually stable, because it's like that all has grounded me throughout this process. In addition to the fact that when it's time to birth my son, I can take all of that confidence and self-awareness or whatever, and I feel like I can have a positive birthing experience and then transition that right into motherhood. And I can bestow all of those positive things that I've achieved for myself by doing the internal work. I can transition that right into motherhood. Like, that not only makes me a cool mom, that makes me a good mom. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like where I was once afraid to let go of the hard work that I put in, now I'm more so excited about being able to turn that inner work into this work that'll make me just an all-around better person for me, my partner, my son, my family, the world, whatever, whoever, right? So I'm really looking forward to this transition, and I can't wait. Last but not least, the new schedule will look like, okay, since I have 9 weeks left, I'm saying this now, I'm not gonna overexert myself, but the plan is to go every other week up until the time of birth. So that should look like 5 additional episodes from now until the due date. And then we're gonna take like a mid-season break, like, you know, ABC and NBC and CBS does in the middle of their sitcoms, like in the fall. You know, they go on a little winter break. We'll go on a little baby break, and I'll come back whenever it feels right, basically. Which I don't know if it's gonna be too long, but in the meantime, I definitely have been. So I got an iPad, and I'm really excited about that. I've been wanting an iPad for like months, because it's like I don't like editing on my computers. Like, I have 2 MacBook Pros, actually, the 13-inch and the 15-inch, and I feel like, even though it's like not a lot of stuff on there, it probably is a lot of stuff on there for real, but it's like, I don't know, it's just not comfortable. So I was like, if I get an iPad, like, I'm just gonna be more productive. And that has rung true, because I have been exceptionally productive with editing my videos and getting them out. Cause guess what? I finally posted my Montana vlog to YouTube. I finished editing my vlog from when I went to Mexico for Christmas. So that will be published on Sunday. So basically, the plan is to publish my vlogs to YouTube every Sunday. And then the podcast episodes will continue to go out on Fridays. However, it'll be every other Friday. Wishful thinking, hopeful thinking, it'll be every other Friday. The vlogs will go out every Sunday, because I have so much footage that I'm not even like overexerting myself. Like, in my downtime, I just sit and edit or whatever. So I'm really looking forward to like continuing vlogs and just like expanding on the video aspect of my creativity once I move, because I know I'm gonna get so much more inspiration from just being in my new space. And I definitely want to, you know, record like the process of like making our house our home. I've loved this condo. I'm very grateful for this condo. I'm very grateful for Rachel for even allowing us to be in this space. Like, I appreciate everything about this condo. I was supposed to say the culture. The character is what I want to say. The character has obviously this is probably where in the house I'm gonna film the remainder of the upcoming videos with the steps behind me, because this is like, you know, the steps is like my favorite part, and the loft, but I ain't really fucking with the loft that much, because I'm not finna keep going up and down them steps. So this will probably be my backdrop from here on out. I hope that like while I've been here, I could prove to people that, like, you don't have to have the latest finishes and the updated countertop and the stainless steel refrigerator. Like, yes, I am moving into all of that, but like, I feel like I was still lit my whole 2.5 years here by me having, like, my appliances not even white. They like cream or something like that. Like, my countertop's not, granite or anything like that. Like, this condo is from like 1988, and I feel like I was still lit. Like, it did not stop me from recording cooking videos in the kitchen. It did not stop me from recording anything in this house, from taking pictures in this house. Like, because social media, like, we get so wrapped up in having the latest and the greatest, and you gotta have this to be on top and to be popping and whatever. And it's like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna live my life just how my life is being lived. I can't put on no facade for nobody. I can't fake like I got stainless steel appliances, and trust me, I've had that. But I mean, we were at a point where, like, this was where we needed to be for 2.5 years. So I'm just at this point, I'm just reflecting on, the memories that Corey and I have made in this condo so far, and will continue to make for the next, like, 2 months, because I literally intend on birthing my child in here. So, I'm just very grateful, highly blessed, and super appreciative of everything that I don't have, of everything that I do have, and everything that I will have. And with that, I'm gonna just go on and leave it there. Until next time.